We're here at the foot of Vine Street, the north foot of Vine at Kitsilano Beach today. I'm going to be doing a walking tour about the earliest history of Kitsilano and also the earliest houses in Kitsilano. And what's interesting about the earliest history of Kitsilano is this spot exactly where we are, which is as you come along the southern shore, it turns more or less a right angle and heads towards the west end. This little crook of the arm here was a native settlement, who knows for how long, but it's involved in the earliest history of Vancouver and even of Canada, because it was exactly at this spot on the whole west coast of Canada the first image was drawn. Now there's a reason for that, I'll get to that later. But also this spot was where the first logging camp was built. In 1868, Jerry Rogers logging camp. He built one over at Jericho in 1865, which is probably the first one in British Columbia. But he moved over here in 68, which is, remember the Hastings sawmill opened in 1867, so this is basically where he came to feed logs to the Hastings sawmill. Now, he built a logging skid road from this point diagonally over to Arbutus Street and then straight up to the top of the hill. When you get to the top of the hill, exactly the top of the hill, that is exactly where the oldest houses in Kitsilano are, and they date from the Victorian age. And this is brand new information that I just discovered working for the city of Vancouver. They own a block of houses there, which are, believe it or not, a remnant of 1960s hippie Vancouver, in that this whole area was rezoned apartment in the late 50s. That created a whole neighborhood of houses that were slated to be torn down to make high-rise buildings. Because they were all tear-downs, they provided low rent to what? Young baby boomers. So what was created exactly that spot in the 60s? Vancouver's Haight-Ashbury. That's why in the whole of British Columbia it occurred at that spot. Now there's one block left that's now completely surrounded by apartment buildings. The city owns that block. Ironically, they bought those houses to tear them down, to put a freeway through. People have been fighting it ever since. And so now we have this anomaly of this little one block of houses surrounded by apartment buildings, which is the last surviving block, if you like, of 1960s hippie Vancouver.